Welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where in this video we are going to check out the Insurrection Industries Carby, designed to be a plug-and-play HDMI solution for the Nintendo GameCube. Hey everyone, and welcome to Rock Solid Productions. If this is your first time to the channel, I want to take a second and thank you for stopping by. It really means a lot for us, for you to come and check out what we have going here on the channel. Do me a favor, if you like what you see here, check out some of the other videos that we have here on the channel. And if you really like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we do come out with new video content, you're kept the most up to date. So this bad boy here, this bad boy here, that bad boy there, the Nintendo GameCube, one of my favorite systems of all times. It has, even though it's not really a Mario game, one of my favorite Mario games in Luigi's Mansion, has the best Star Wars game in Rogue Squadron. No question in my mind. It's, at least as far as the combat, the ship battles, things along those lines, I love Rogue Squadron. There's so many classics, Metroid Prime, that this system is really, in a lot of ways, underrated. Now, one of the things that has held the GameCube back over the years in the retro community is getting a decent picture out of it. Well, it's been really expensive because you've had to invest in overpriced, for a reason, component video cables for the GameCube to get the best possible picture. One of the reasons why they're overpriced is they don't make them anymore. They made a very limited run, no pun intended as far as limited run games, but it's one of those where the people who have them aren't selling them, and those who are selling them for a premium. So Insurrection Industries have come out with the Carby. If you want to see, we actually visited with the folks at Insurrection Industries this year at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Click the link up there if you want to see our interview with Matt from Insurrection Industries. Now, the Carby is designed to be a plug-and-play HDMI solution. You take it out of the box, you don't have to rewire anything. It plugs right into the back of the GameCube if you have a certain port. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Carby, we're going to throw it on our bench, we're going to see how it comes out of the box, we're going to show you some of the features that it has on the hardware itself, we're going to show you how to connect it to your GameCube and how it actually looks as we tested with GameCube games. And we're also going to play, we've got the Gameboy Player out here, we're going to play some Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. Let's check this out on the bench. So let's check out how the Carby comes out of the box. And one of the cool things about it is it does actually come with its own dedicated remote control. We'll go through that in a little bit. The Carby itself, pretty small right there. See anything else in the box? No, there is not. At least not in this one. Now, this is a sample that, like I say, the folks at Insurrection sent me after the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. After we talked to them and everything, they had an extra sample that they sent our way. So it may actually come with an HDMI cable. This one just didn't. Don't judge this as far as what it's going to come with. I do like the clear plastic on there. It's kind of neat, kind of a high-tech look. This here is one of the things that they really spent a lot of time on, and the connector port. Basically what they did is they copied to exacting standards, well, not copy, but they tried to emulate to exacting standards the port dimensions, the size, the materials, and everything that the original cables had. So pretty simple and straightforward here. I'm not seeing any buttons or anything on the outside. There is a button on the inside, and I do believe that you can take the case apart for things like either firmware updates or, there's a button inside there I can see. Pretty simple and straightforward. Now, the remote control has a menu button, up, down, left, right, AV1, AV2, AV3 buttons on it, exit button to exit the menu, runs on a single CR2025 battery. Now, this is my Japanese Spice Orange GameCube. The Carby will work on any GameCube that includes this port right here. This is the digital AV out, and this is crucial. Later GameCubes only had the analog AV out. They did that to save costs. If you have the digital AV out, you can use the Carby. You might be wondering what this switch is here. That is a region mod switch that I installed. You can check out the link right about here. that will show you how I managed to do that. And to install the Carby, it's pretty simple. You just take it, put it in, and once you hear it snap in, you're good to go. There's no external power or anything like that. It gets the power from the system itself, and then it's just a single HDMI plug right on the output right here. Now, one of the benefits of this design is that you still have access to the analog AV out. And why that's important is, talking to the guys from Insurrection, for a lot of like Smash tournaments, they use computer monitors for the video, which they work great, they look great. There's no, it won't carry the audio for you. You have to connect your system to a receiver or a soundbar or something like that to get audio out of it. By having access to this analog AV out, you can feed the standard AV cables from here into another source, so that way you get your digital audio out along with analog audio output into another source. This is pretty well set up to rock and roll. We're gonna plug it in for some power, connect an HDMI cable, and we're gonna get some test footage. Let's check it out. Before we get into any of the gameplay itself, let's take a look at some of the on-screen menu options that the Carby offers. You have a line doubler option, which we are actually going to turn on right here. Now, we could also go ahead and add scan lines if we want. There they are on. You can add the strength, whether you have scan lines on odd, or what's the next option here? Odd or even. And alternating scan lines, you can turn that on or off. Now, I'm not a scan line fan, so I'm going to turn scan lines off. Other options that you have will go down to OSD, and mode pop-up is on. You can turn that on or off. I'm gonna actually turn that, I'm gonna leave that on for this, but during normal gameplay, I would actually have that off. Background transparency, background tint blue, background tint red, you can basically customize how that will look for you. Picture settings, you can adjust brightness, contrast, saturation, or you can reset to neutral. Other settings, you can allow 480p mode. RGB limited range is off. Enhanced DVI mode is on. Display is 16:9. We are going to turn that on. Mode switch delay 0, volume, and mute. View all modes, this is where you can adjust or go into 240p, 288p, 480i, 786i, 480p, 576p, or exit. Let's go into here. For the 480p settings, line doubler is off. Scan lines you can turn on and off as you see fit. On 480i mode, you can turn the line doubler on, which we have right now. Scan lines turn on and off if you want. From here we will exit. You can store the settings if you want, view the about section, or exit. And we are going to exit right now. FZero GX is one of the best looking games on the GameCube. We're going to check it out. And here, as you can see, it's asking if I want to display in progressive scan mode, which I do. That's really sharp. Holy cow. Look at the detail on the ship. I think it's going to fly by. Yeah. Look at the detail on the ship right there. That's really impressive. That looks really good. We're just going to play some Mute City really quick. We're going to go Grand Prix, Novice. Now, I am playing this on my US Standard Edition GameCube, my purple one that I have. This will work just the same for the Japanese version as well. I don't have many Japanese games for my Japanese GameCube. I'm going to turn up the max speed a little bit. How about a Black Captain Falcon? Kind of like Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. This looks really crisp. My start was not very crisp, but the graphics look really, really crisp. Missed the turbo boost there. Still doing halfway decent. There we go. Try and take the inside line. Making some nice moves here. Up to third. Leaders are right in front of me. Went a little wide in that first corner. That cost me some positions. Ooh, went a little bit too nose high there. But look at the draw distance in the background and everything. This is really sharp looking. All right, we've got the top two right in front of us. No lag, no latency, which is a great thing. Again, look at the detail on the Captain Falcon ship as it goes by here. Even the first display, the crispness of the lettering and everything. Really good first impressions. Yeah, that's really good. Back at the main menu here, and let's go to gameplay, and we're going to throw in one of the best bullet hell shooter games, and that's Ikaruga. And again, we want progressive scan mode turned on. That's going to give us the best quality graphics out of the GameCube, quite honestly. I guess I didn't realize this was an Atari game. Now, the thing with Ikaruga, what's really kind of different about it is the fact that you basically have two modes for your ship, either black or white. And depending on the color of your ship, if you are a white ship, you can basically absorb hits from white bullets. If you are a black ship, you can absorb black bullets. But this is one of those games where it's visually stunning. Look at that. That's crazy how good that looks. So the A button is basically what will flip your ship from black to white. And then the B button is your fire button. Look at the detail on the ship and everything. Even in the background, the clouds and stuff. Holy crap, this is not good. Okay, and there you can see I'm changing from one ship color to the next. And there you can see I took some hits from some of the black bullets. There's some more, no damage whatsoever. This is a game where your reflexes really will reward you, very much so. The music is just amazing on this game too. Oh, just barely missed getting shot by those white bullets there. Got through that one. This is stunning. This is really gorgeous. If you have never played Ikaruga, it's actually now available for the Switch as well. And I actually have not purchased the Switch version just because I have this one. Did someone say bullet hell? Wow, I don't know how I got through that, but I somehow did. All right, one ship's destroyed. I did not get the second one. We'll see if we can beat this boss quick. And this is where you really need to be cognizant of what's going on around you because it can get fast in a hurry. Oh! Bit the farm there. Bought the farm too. That's Ikaruga. Man, what a great game. If you've never played it, I definitely recommend it. Tough as can be, gorgeous looking here on the Carby too. I'm really impressed so far. It's kind of appropriate that right now is a dark and stormy evening. We're going to check out Resident Evil 4. And I have to admit, I have not played the GameCube version a whole lot because I had it for the Wii. And it's one of the games that the motion controls really made sense for. It made it easy to make you feel like you were in an arcade shooter. But because I've loved that version so much, I wanted to pick up the one for the GameCube. Plus, I mean, this is still my favorite controller. So I've played this just a little bit so far on here. As you can see, only about 7 minutes in. And there you can see also in the upper right-hand corner, the resolution popped up there too. That's where you can go into the on-screen display if you want and actually turn that feature off. Now, one thing too I have to say on this game is the fact that I feel like it almost looks, it's not that it looks grainy, but it almost looks like I'm looking through a screen window. As I missed both of those shots there on the crow. There we go, got him that time. And we will free the wolf. Still, I mean, I'm not a huge horror genre fan, but this is definitely one of my favorite games for the Wii. And also why I wanted to get it for the GameCube. You know, no lag again in this. It feels good. It just, and this very much could be just the way the game itself is stylized for the GameCube, but it kind of just has, it almost feels, whoa, someone's coming. Almost feels like a filter over this to kind of give it that grungy sort of look. There we go. Always make sure that you've got as much ammunition as you can and reload frequently. Can I actually shoot these guys from here? Nope, not quite. Leon's looking a little bit rough there. Oh! Just not quite used to the GameCube controls. Played good. That was completely just me. It's like, oh, what button do I hit? I'm so used to the waggle and the Z trigger on the I wanted to call it the Joy-Con on the Wii remote. One of the unique things about the GameCube too is the fact that you can actually play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games through it with the Gameboy Player. And I've got mine set up. Let's check it out. One of the key things if you do want to play the Game Boy Player through a GameCube, you need to have the Game Boy Player disc. That is something that is often missing. Do I want to display in progressive scan? Of course I do. Now, me being me, of course you guys had to know, with me testing out a piece of hardware, there's one game that I had to test out on here. It is the worst version of Earthworm Jim ever. It's like 10 frames a second. So you can change screen filters, change the controller settings, go full screen or normal, change the different frames that are on here. We'll just go with purple. Options, and I can't change what does what. I don't like that. But here you can see that it's designed for the original GBA. So we'll go to normal. The frame rate on this game is so bad. Surprisingly though, it sounds great. To quote Dana Carvey and Middle-Aged Man from Saturday Night Live, you know, we didn't know how bad this was at the time. We were just glad to have Earthworm Jim on, you know, a portable system. There we go. There we go. Again, it's one of those things where if there was lag and latency in the Carby, that would have shown up right there. I mean, granted, this is a terrible, like I say, it's the worst version of Earthworm Jim ever made. Let's see if we can do the whip and jump over here. Even the crow animation is just really bad. But EWJ looks okay. He deserves better than this. He really does deserve a better fate than this. He's far too groovy to be this ugly. We're gonna call this one a game because it's terrible. But one of the nice things is you can go into the on-screen menu, change the game pack just like that. Do I want to quit? Yes, I do, because it's just bad. The Game Boy Player also has some pretty cool stuff baked into it so that you can play Game Boy Color games right on the system as well. It's the best way that you're going to get Game Boy Color, and that's one of the things, the differences on the Game Boy Player for the GameCube versus the Super Game Boy for the Super NES. It will not do Game Boy Color. Okay, so if I press down, I can hit that. So the X button is how I change from Diddy to Donkey. It's kind of hard to visually keep track of everything that's going on here because it does move so fast since the screen is so small. Oh, it's actually really amazing what they're able to do with the Game Boy Color with basically dumbing down a... Oh, I didn't want to hop down like that. But basically being able to dumb down a Super NES game. Alright, so we'll see if we can get DK to... There we go. Ooh, just about... Oh! I was going to say just about got hit, and then I did get hit. One last game to test. It's the GameCube. I got to go with some Rogue Squadron, because this is by far one of my favorite Star Wars games ever made for any system. I remember when I got this for the GameCube originally, and the cinematics, it was hard to tell if it was something at the time, it was hard to tell at least, if it was from the movies or if it was in the game, or if it was CGI, I mean. It was just that darn good looking. We're going to go here, and we're just going to do the attack on the Death Star because it's just a great level in so many different ways. Now, I'm going to let the cinematic play here. I'm going to have the audio turned down because, like I've mentioned before in other videos, Lucasfilms, Disney, they like to copyright claim videos with the John Williams fanfare to it. But one of the things I really wanted to see here, first of all, is the crispness of all the lettering in the scroll. It looks pretty dang good here. The next thing I want to show is just as the ships pass by Yavin 4, just how amazing they look, because it really does look awesome. So here you have, as it pans down, this just blew my mind when I saw it the first time, and it looks even better now. It looks super crisp. I mean, I can tell it's in-engine, it's CGI, it's not from the original release, but man, that looks great. They did a good job of modeling the models. Now you can see in the upper right hand corner changed to 640 by 5 something, 60 frames per second, so you are getting really sharp resolution here. This is something that if you enjoy the space dogfighting of Star Wars games and you have a GameCube, cannot recommend this game highly enough. It is so much fun. It looks great. It sounds amazing. And the Carby is just, it's really doing a good job of showing what the system can do. And that's what it looks like from the cockpit view, which we'll go back to that in a second after this cutscene. And there we have 3 ships coming in. Now, I've always preferred this third-person view. Now, one thing as well on this game is quite often, especially for this scene, is I will turn up the brightness a little bit. It just makes it a little bit easier to see ships, especially because the ties tend to blend in with the background on the Death Star itself. Now, one thing I want to pan up here, look at the detail on Yavin as well. I'm going to send my wingmen to go get some fighters. We've got 2 of them down below right here. I am a terrible shot sometimes. Now, one thing too, as you go through here, a lot of times, I know when I was younger, I would just go ahead and fire my blasters just for the sake of firing blasters. You do get scored on accuracy, so unless you actually have a target on screen, even though you have unlimited ammunition, you do not want to fire unless you're actually firing at something in particular. As a fan of the GameCube, I have to say the Insurrection Industries Carby, it impressed. It works really, really well. Now, with this, you do still get access to the analog output, and with that, you can still connect your audio cables up to like a receiver, a soundbar, like we mentioned during the open. So if that's important to you, this is definitely something you'll want to consider. The included remote is nice, although the one thing I did find a bit confusing was the menu button didn't access the menu. The center OK button did. I kind of wish they'd relabel that a little bit. Above and beyond that, it looks really sharp. It plays without any lag or delay or anything along those lines. It did work with both my Japanese and my American GameCube, so great compatibility there. It worked with everything that I played with it. It's, for the money, it's a damn good solution, but these are just my opinions. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Let me know if you have any questions too down in the comments. You can also go ahead and email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter at rocksolidstudios, or we've always got the conversation going over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/rocksolidproductions. If you want to go ahead too and get early access to all of our content, exclusive content, and a whole lot more, I invite you to join us over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid for just $1 a month. It gets you early access to all of our video content, again, exclusive content as well, exclusive conversations with me, and a whole lot more. It's only $1 a month, $12 a year, and everything that we raise from our Patreons goes straight right back into the channel. And if you want to also help support the channel and sport some Rock Solid Productions swag, you can do so by heading on over to our Teespring store on screen right now. We have shirts featuring the NES, Super NES, and N64 cartridge styles with the Rock Solid Productions logo. And to pick up any of the Insurrection Industries SCART cables, you can also head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. Visit my friend Ryan over there. The cool thing is, Ryan does carry the full line of SCART cables available from Insurrection Industries. Now, if you do go ahead and order anything straight from CastlemaniaGames.com, orders over $20 do get free standard shipping and handling in the US, and on most items on the website, if you use promo code ROX10, you'll also save 10%. And like I mentioned at the top of this video, please feel free to check out some of the other videos that we have here on the channel. We've done a lot of stuff with the GameCube you may absolutely like if you are a fan of the GameCube. And if you really like what we do here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we do have new videos that come up on the channel, you're kept the most up to date. The Carby's a really good solution. I'm digging it. And especially if you need both that digital output with the HDMI and the analog output for separate audio, it's a pretty good solution for you. I am Gary. This has been Rock Solid Productions. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.